Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, I'm covering communication skills for you to level up your way with words, become much more articulate. If this is your first time on the channel, welcome aboard. Every single day of the week, I'm dropping brand new insights on public speaking, storytelling, emotional resilience, and much more. Join the tribe by hitting that subscribe button right on below and hit that bell notification so you never miss another video again. In today's episode, we're actually going to be breaking down a recent blog that I wrote about Tony Robbins. Love him or hate him, you cannot deny Tony Robbins' impact. What started off as a journey in the 70s is still going on till today. There were plenty of people that came and went within the self-improvement sphere. To this day, I'm still seeing Tony Robbins' ads on social media. I'm seeing content being created by him. He started a podcast where he's interviewing high performers. This guy is not going away, and I must give him kudos. He is one of the greatest public speakers of our time, and I believe there are certain things you could learn from his public speaking style. And if you're one of these guys that's like, Tony, he's just too animated, wait till one of the later techniques where you could actually use your disgust towards Tony Robbins' delivery to your advantage. So if you're ready and excited to learn about the Tony Robbins techniques, hit that like for me right on below, and let's get started with technique number 1, which is what happens before the speech. A lot of the times before a speech, whenever someone can tell that you're nervous, they're going to be like, hey bud, loosen up. And you're going to think, what does that exactly mean? How do I loosen up? With Tony Robbins, he physically loosens up. If you watch how he behaves before a big talk, he's over here jumping up and down. He's letting his arms loose. He's stretching his mouth. He is physically loosening up. And this is a good thing because this allows you to feel nimble. Whenever you're anxious, your muscles are feeling very tight at the moment. So if you forcefully make yourself feel nimble, you will impact your mental waves as well, where you feel good. Now, I'm not like Tony Robbins where I'm over here jumping up and down, but a few of the things that I will do is number 1, smile and hold. And another thing, which you may not have the venue to do, is yell very loud. Whenever you're smiling and holding it, which I believe is the most effective, it will loosen your face, you will release endorphins in your brain, which allows you to feel good, and you'll feel more confident. Others will feel as though you know what you're doing. With the yelling one, I believe Tony Robbins actually does that for his loosening up routine. What that does is that you're feeling a lot of restricted nerves, and your thoughts, they're very restricted right now. When you yell at the top of your lungs, what happens is that you shatter through any limiting beliefs, and suddenly you start to carry yourself like a boss. You got to be aware of your venue. You don't want to be yelling where everyone else is quiet and they're like, oh, what the heck's going on there? Is someone dying? You want to evaluate your venue. I believe if you just stick with the smiling one, you will physically loosen up, which will help you out a ton. The next technique is to stay on message. A lot of people, they never build confidence in their message because they keep wavering, right? Where with Tony Robbins, he does not waver. He has one philosophy, which is self-improvement, and he keeps improving that. The cool thing with improving one message is that when you go deep, you're capable of solving other problems as a byproduct. So if you watch Tony Robbins' content, you will see that he brings up breathing effectively, managing your money effectively, and neuro-linguistics programming. These all help with self-improvement, but you will see a lot of relationship content that Tony Robbins chugs out. By going very deep into self-improvement and staying on message there, he's capable of giving relationship advice that is congruent with his main message. So you really want to ask yourself, what does your brand stand for? For the ArmaniTalks brand, I believe that there are 5 to 6 core soft skills that you can learn that will help you elevate your confidence. All the tweets, blogs, videos that I create are about these particular soft skills such as public speaking, storytelling, emotional intelligence, etc. So that's the ArmaniTalks message. If someone comes to me and is like, hey, dude, do you want to be an affiliate marketer for one of these fidget spinners? I'm going to say, not really, because it doesn't stay on my message. So you want to ask yourself, like, what is the message that I am sharing to my audience? And the more that you understand your message, the more confidence that you will build. Technique number 3. This is going to sound weird, but bear with me. Get your fingers involved. Anytime that you see Tony Robbins talking, he really gets his fingers involved. Why? The reason why is because, number 1, whenever you're nervous on stage, you're going to point a lot. Subconsciously, you're thinking, I know I should be moving my fingers. I should get my palms engaged. It's way better than putting my palms in my pocket. So you're going to use your palm, but you're going to be using it like this. Does this look good to the eyes? No. Why? It's because it looks like a knife to your subconscious mind. It's very sharp. And thus far as I've been holding this up, you're probably feeling distaste in your mouth. Something doesn't feel right. So eventually what happens is that public speakers, the newbie ones, they get their fingers involved, but they're over here speaking like this now, right? Hey, what's up guys? How are you doing? What feels wrong with this? The thumbs. The thumbs kind of look like this. It seems like a very sharp, distasteful motion. And now as the public speaker is giving more speeches, now their palms go from like this to becoming more like this, right? More open and more in control. But when you get advanced like Tony Robbins, that's when your fingers become more animated. And once your fingers get really animated for your talk, it feels like you have full control over your talk. Or when you're over here talking like this, right? Or your hands are in your pockets, it feels like the talk is slipping away from you. So an underrated public speaking hack is to get your fingers involved in the very beginning. Even if you are a newbie, when you're practicing your speech, do your best to try to match your fingers to your message. And you will immediately feel more confident from that. That is something that Tony Robbins taught me. And I know for a fact it works because it just works. You just got to try it. Technique number 4 is to stomach controversy. Where there is love, there is hate as well. Tony Robbins, yes, he is the poster boy for the self-improvement space, but he's also this poster boy for scammers, for fake gurus, for people that monetize other people's pain. And you need to be able to do this if you want to stay on message, which was one of the other techniques. A lot of the times, what's going to happen is when you are being really true to your message, there is going to be a movement that tries to take you down. For the ArmaniTalks brand, one of the principles that I bring up a lot is emotional intelligence. And I kid you not, it's really weird, but if you ever bring up that phrase on Twitter, one group is going to love you. They're going to say, yes, that makes sense. And another group, they're going to bash you. They're going to say, emotional intelligence is fake. IQ is only real. And they're going to start a movement against you. They're going to say that nothing you say makes sense. It's not based in science just because you use the phrase emotional intelligence. You need to be able to stomach controversy, especially if you are trying to stay on message. And technique number 5, this may seem very counterintuitive, but become the anti-Tony Robbins. And what I mean by that is observe everything Tony Robbins does, then do the exact opposite. Because there are a lot of public speakers that can do what Tony Robbins does. Jump up and down, get the audience to jump up and down, do a lot of these exercises, right? But you don't need to do that in order to be a great public speaker. The more that you see what you don't want, the more that you adopt what you do want. This is an underrated way in order to build your public speaking identity. See what's working beautifully for someone else, and then analyze your body. Is this something that you want to do, right? And if not, then you have more clarity in building your public speaking identity. So if you're someone that is vehemently against Tony Robbins, I believe that's the reason to consume his content anyways. It will help you understand what you don't want. I'm going to give you one final tip. This is a bonus tip because you made it this far. If you're watching it so far and you're liking it, drop that like for me right down below. The final tip is to give out free consultation sessions, where a lot of public speakers also have a consulting practice. With Tony Robbins, he talks about NLP a lot, neuro-linguistics programming. It's one thing to talk about it. It's another thing to give a free session on stage, because that will wow the audience. If you're someone, let's say you're a public speaker that speaks about relationships, and you're normally dissecting other people's relationship problems, give a free consultation session. Get one of the people from the audience, put them on stage, and ask them some questions as if you were doing a regular consulting session. The more that you're doing this, the more that you showcase your expertise to the public, and now they're saying, this guy, he really knows what he's talking about. So at first you may be like, free? No, this guy should charge me. But the amount of money that you will make back in perception points will weigh out any money that you could have charged them in the first place. So give some free consultation sessions every now and then and engage with the audience. So if you enjoyed today's talk and you want to learn more about public speaking, do not stop with this video. Check out my book, The Speaking Wizard. Within this book, you will learn a lot of techniques in order to turn your speech from very boring to animated and fun. You will learn how to find your message and double down on it. Don't keep swaying left and right. Double down on one message, deepen it, and understand it. You will learn how to engage with the audience without annoying them or without boring them. And you will also get a bonus section on Toastmasters, the #1 public speaking club in the world. If you're ready and excited to improve your public speaking game, go ahead and scan this barcode right on here, or go on ArmaniTalks.com and go to shop and grab the Speaking Wizard today. Thank you very much for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel, and I will catch you next time.